Candice, my guy. Life is like a gamble.
The gambler there.
But it surely ain't no game.
What's been your problem with the former policeman, now Sting promoter, Isaiah Laing?
Well, the problem is really this, we had a dialogue a few months ago about Sting, and I decided that I wasn't going to do Sting because I was owed some money from last year, one. And I had already had plans to do a show abroad, you know what I mean? But then Cory and myself, which is my business manager, business partner also, decided that we were going to keep our own show in the building, you know what I mean? And
the building is at the former asylum.
Yeah, so
in New Kingston.
In New Kingston. So we had dialogue and I decided I wasn't going to do the show, you know what I mean? So ever since then he was calling other people and saying that who Vybz Kartel thinking is and me can't fight the state. You know what I mean? Cause
the state?
Yeah, because I didn't know the state was keeping any show.
Those words, the state?
Yeah, he used those words, those exact words, so me can't fight the state. You know what I mean? So then we had a show in Trelawny where it was raided. You know what I mean? Vybz Kartel wasn't there because I heard about it beforehand. You know what I mean? And I wasn't there. Then he came to the club.
When was that show in Trelawny?
I think it was the 18th, you know. The 18th of December. Yeah, because before that we decided that we weren't going to do it, and that is when the threat started. You know what I mean?
Back up a little. Tell me, you said he owed you from last year's performance, December 2009.
Last year.
How much does he owe you?
$500,000.
$500,000?
Yeah.
And what has he been saying to you in terms
of? Tell you the God truth, because right now I'm just talking. Him tell my manager, say, if Vybz Kartel was a bad man, I'll pay you back money. You know what I mean?
Serious?
It's dead serious.
He told your manager that?
Yeah, man, him tell my manager those exact words, man. You know what I mean? And when me hear that now, I start looking into it and say, alright, well, me nah do Sting then. See, so that is the real reason why I say me nah do Sting if me not get X amount of money, because people been speculating why I'm charging so much money. You know what I mean? Anyway, go on and on. And
that's $1 million you were charging for this year?
3, me tell him,
$3 million?
Yeah, because for even the pride of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so me tell him $3 million. And
but you weren't serious about $3 million?
No, if me get my money from last year, we could have renegotiated. You know what I mean? But
so you were prepared to negotiate down?
Yeah, man. Because Sting that is the annual show. So anyway, the negotiation fell through or whatever. And that was when the real trouble started. You know what I mean? With this system of raids and stuff like that. So he came to the building nightclub on Thursday. I think that was what, the 23rd, I think? Or the 24th, one of those days. It was a Thursday though. So
that would have been Thursday because Saturday was the 25th.
Yeah, so it was the 23rd.
Yeah.
So when he came to the building, my business partner Cory Todd, because he said something in the media that Vybz Kartel can pull 1,000 people. So to come in the building that night was $1,000. So he came to the building and wanted to come in.
Who, Laing?
Yeah. So Cory Todd said, no man, yes, if Vybz Kartel can pull 1,000 people, so pay $1,000 then. You know what I mean? And him look on Cory and him exact words was, hey boy, you know who me is, you don't come from Jamaica. That's what he said to Cory, because Cory is an American, you know. Yeah, so Cory said, you know, if him talking a film American style, basically saying he don't respond. So, Laing went away. And
what was the price to going by?
$1,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cory said, yes, my DJ can pull 1,000 people, so pay $1,000 to come in. So him say, Cory, you know who me is, whatever. And he left. And see him later that night, the club was raided. You know what I mean? By police and the people.
In uniform?
Yeah, man. People were disrespected and crazy things happen. You know what I mean? And all fingers pointing to that person, because you know. This is Jamaica and we have our ears in the streets, and you know people will talk things. You know what I mean? And people tell.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that those things are true.
No, right? But we can speculate and we hear things from even people who are police also.
Yeah.
Not necessarily top ranking police, but you know what I mean, foot soldiers in the streets and stuff like that. So the club was raided Thursday. His remark was that no.
What time was that raid on Thursday night?
About an hour after he left.
How many policemen raided the building?
Well, I was on my way there, you know, so when I reached and heard that the building was being raided, I left. When I went outside, it was about, because I parked around the back, so when I left outside, I saw like about 5 police around the back. You know what I mean? Them hold us at gunpoint, search us.
Including you?
Yeah, man. Search me and thing and let me go and thing. And then...
What did they ask you, though?
They didn't ask me anything. You know what I mean? They just jack me in a corner, search me, search up my pocket, search my vehicle, and my drive away. You know what I mean?
And that was the end of the operation?
That was the end of it. You know what I mean? And then this Boxing Night now, because he called as a matter of fact, he called my manager again, you know, Dennis, you know, and told him that, listen me.
He who called your manager?
Laing again, you know, and said, listen me, no show can keep Boxing Day, but film show. You know what I mean? He even asked my manager if we take off the ads, because we had a commercial running on Zip, if we take off a commercial. Yeah, man, so it's like it's a whole intimidation thing, you know what I mean? And me I tell you the God truth, Hughes, me don't think even the commissioner or the really high-ranking police them know what really take place. Me I tell you the truth from my heart, you know?
Well, let me ask you this, because we have been in touch with an assistant commissioner of police, Les Green.
Yeah.
I've also been in touch with the director of communications of the force called Angel, and both of them made the following points to me. One, there should be no reason for your show or anybody's show to be harassed. If you were given a valid permit,
which we were,
you have a valid permit for all the shows that you have been harassed,
all the shows, Mr. Hughes,
including the Boxing Night show,
including the Boxing Night show,
and the Make Good on Monday night.
Yes, sir. We have permit for everything, because it's a nightclub, you know, so we have one permit that we can keep any event in the club, because remember it is an indoors thing, so the noise abatement act, everything is out. The only condition is that the club over by 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock
or 2 o'clock?
4, because as I said, it's indoors.
Oh, if it's indoors, it's 4. If it's outdoors, 2.
Yeah. Because of the liquor at the stop sell 4 a.m. and plus it clear up the traffic off the road that people can go about commuting in the morning.
Yes. So I've also been told, I don't know how true this is, that the police who raided the building on Boxing Night said they did so because the line of people, patrons waiting to enter the building had extended as far south as Emancipation Park. Is that true?
Well, the line wasn't really at Emancipation Park, you know, but you have to remember the line was truthfully round the corner by Quad. Because, you know, Vybz Kartel wasn't at Sting. So most Gaza people in the city is going to come to this show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But
so the question therefore is, was the building already at capacity and more?
No, it wasn't at capacity, you know, because it can hold about 2,000 people. And to tell you the truth,
at the time when they arrived, what time was that on Boxing?
Very early, you know, it was like 11:30.
11:30?
I swear to you, about 11:30.
And you had started at what time?
The club opened 10 o'clock. People were still paying to come inside.
So the club wasn't full?
No, it wasn't. People were still paying to come inside. Albeit the line was long and a lot of people were outside.
So what did they do when they got there?
Well, you know, the usual style, rough up a few people, run with the people them off at the front, lock off the music inside the club, search everybody, you know what I mean, and send them home.
Approximately how many policemen were involved in that operation?
Well, I didn't know it. I wasn't there, you know.
Yeah.
Because by the time I reached, I saw Trafalgar Road, not Sud Boulevard, by Trafalgar Road block. So I just spin around and just head back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
so who gave you this information that you're relaying to me now?
Well, you know, because remember this is Jamaica and I have a lot of police friends, so they're telling me that when I was on my way, they say, Kartel, they reach at the club, I said, no, them say I pay police out there, so nobody come. Because it mash up. I mean, them said the club mash up and people getting searched and stuff like that. So, that was that. And they came back again the next night.
So you had another show the next night?
Yeah, which was the spillover because of the incident where... Because Vybz Kartel was built to perform and I didn't perform. So we said, all right, we're going to have a spillover into the Monday night, which would be a holiday also.
Yeah.
Which would be the original Boxing Day. So they came the same thing again, raid the club, lock off the music, search a few people.
And on what basis did they say they were searching or locking off the music? What was the reason they gave?
They said that they heard that Wanted Man was in the club. But what I'm saying, we've been running the club for 1 year now.
We meaning who?
Cory Todd and myself been managing the club for 1 year now and we haven't had any raids or anything like that. And it's the same patrons always come to the club, which would be dancehall supporters. You know what I mean? So
they didn't say you didn't have a permit?
No.
Nor you were breaching anything?
No.
Just that they suspected wanted men in the building?
Yeah, they were acting on intelligence. But then again, my friend now called, my friend which is a lawyer, which will remain unnamed, called the same person and his comments over the phone, because we was listening, his comments over the phone was, the boy Kartel diss me. You know what I mean? So everything is just coming from one person who is trying to use...
Who said that?
Laing himself.
Oh.
Just trying to use his influence to try to say, him want box food out of my mouth. You know what I mean? And anyway,
because he didn't perform at Sting.
At Sting. And anyway, Vybz Kartel they will be terrorizing it. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with Monday night. I have my police friends, so they call me and say, where you are? I say, I'm not reach at the club. Them say, don't come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because police is going to be there. This is the third time, you know. The fourth time, actually. They did it at Trelawney. Me get the news I didn't show. Them did it at Thursday night, the 23rd. They did it the Boxing night, and they did it the 27th. You know what I mean? And I even hear things that like they're calling down in Mobile, because I have a show in Mobile the 31st.
That's tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow.